Well, good morning again.
Morning.
And it's day 2 in Madeira.
Yeah.
And we've gone for a little bit more of a chilled one today because the knees were feeling it a little bit after
the legs a bit.
Pico Grande yesterday was a bit of an epic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So as you can probably see, we've opted for a Levada walk today.
They're very popular here on the island.
Yeah, these are the Levadas. You can see these water channels. These channel water from, well, all over the island, but generally sort of up in the mountains down towards the towns and villages, and they are all over the island.
Yeah. This is one of the less popular ones though. It's so quiet.
It's very quiet, isn't it?
Really quite remote. We've had a bit of an epic drive in, haven't we?
Yeah, so we've started. This is Ribeira da Janela. And this is kind of the far northwestern tip of the island. We're just overlooking Porto Moniz, and the drive in was just I mean, even the drive in, not even the walk, just the drive in was mind blowing, wasn't it?
It's just viewpoint after viewpoint. It's just stunning.
Felipe kept stopping. Oh, you know, have a look at this, have a look at that, and you've probably seen on some of the opening clips I was taking some footage of what he was showing us. But just such a stunning island. But yeah, it's a relatively flat one today. I think there's a bit of incline here and there.
Yeah, further up.
And some tunnels. We've brought the head torches. I think there's some tunnels to go through.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
But nice and chilled. I don't know if you can make that out through the trees behind us there. Some enormous mountains in the background.
Such a pretty part of the island.
It really is. And yeah, very, very quiet. But yeah, looking forward to this one as a bit more of a chilled one after yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to crack on along the Levada, and if we come across some interesting stuff, we'll be sure to let you know. Well, what an absolutely beautiful feel to this place.
Loving it.
So peaceful. Not a breath of wind, nobody around.
Just looking up at these huge laurel trees.
I'll spin you around. Look at the size of these laurels in front of us. Absolutely massive. But just listen to that. Nice. A little bit of bird song, and that's about it. Absolutely beautiful. Sun's just peeking through the gaps in the trees. Perfect.
Just what we needed after yesterday.
Yeah, needed a bit of a rest. Well, we're not quite ready for lunch yet, but if we were, how beautiful is that?
Not pretty.
And you're looking out across the gorge to the ridge on the other side. Very nice. Well, I think we've got one of those sections where we've got an opening and a view. Sun is beating down. Wow. Stunning. There's lots of these little, they're not really villages, you can see the kind of little settlements just perched on the hillside. But there's a lot of those around, isn't there?
Yeah, and sometimes they can't even get to the house by road.
Yeah, Felipe was saying they kind of have to park on the road nearest to the house and then just walk up to the house, don't they? That'd be fun with your weekly shopping. And another little viewpoint corner, and this one's pretty spectacular.
Wow.
Huge sense of space. I think you can't see it, but you can hear down at the bottom of that gully is the Ribeira da Janela River. But wow, absolutely massive, massive space in front of us there.
Big view for a
Yeah,
walk.
it's lovely. Sometimes the Levada walks are quite sheltered. You've got a lot of this undergrowth kind of sheltering your view from the other side of the valley, but when it clears, it's some serious wow factor, isn't it?
Stunning.
So this is another one of these kind of tight corner sections where you come to the very edge of a gorge, and this is obviously where you'd have a lot of water flowing with the heavy rain down here and off down this channel. Lots of debris down there, rocks and branches and stuff. But again, lovely calm feel. Some drips coming off the trees. I think they've had some rain here this morning, haven't they, by the sounds of it and by the looks of it.
The guy we just passed said a kilometre that way it's raining.
Yeah.
Massively here. Typical Madeiran weather.
Mm-hmm. And back to the Levada.
Really lovely feel to this Levada walk. So different to yesterday's alpine walk. Love that about the island. So varied.
That's nice, bit of water.
Oh, nice.
Awesome section, you have this huge kind of green cliff face.
Yeah, it's so lush, isn't it?
It's another tight corner of a gorge, isn't it? A nice big drop over there. We've got another little section here where there's just a little gap in the trees. But if we zoom in, you can see right down to the coast. Beautiful view. We've got another pretty epic viewpoint here.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
You can still hear the river down in the bottom of the valley. These huge mountains just completely covered in trees on either side. Breathtaking, that. So we've stopped to admire the view and have a little drink and a trail snack. And I've got, these are iron brew flavoured jelly babies. I'll try and find a picture to put up on the screen. Jelly babies are great trail snacks, and iron brew flavour, that's just genius. Bringing a bit of Scotland to Madeira. We've got some little friends joining us for trail snacks.
It's a cranberry.
You'll enjoy that, won't he? Well, we're back on the hoof again and kind of heading into another fold in the valley. But these views over to the left are just absolutely stunning. And kind of looking at it from back here, our path is kind of cutting across this hillside somewhere in these trees. It's just an out and back, this one, so I don't kind of know how far we're going to go. But yeah, it's pretty spectacular when you get these views.
Quite happy walking on it though.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Just nice and peaceful. Another thin path with some big drops down there. So we're into another elbow in the Levada. There's Shell in the middle of the picture there. And this is one huge gorge. eerily quiet with a bit of bird song, and I think we've got a tunnel coming up. This again would obviously be a watercourse when things get very wet, but just huge sheer sides covered in undergrowth and trees, and again a lot of debris down here which would flow off down there. And I think that little concrete bunker thing is our entrance to the tunnel. Right, head torches are on. Tunnel number 1. And the Levada, by the looks of it, continues in here. Oh, I'm going to have to watch my head.
Yeah, it's pretty unstable.
Look at that. Waiting to bash me on the head. Yeah. Oh, it's a lot colder in here as well, isn't it? So quite a long tunnel, pretty straight. I can see the light at the end. And we think this is probably one of the longest tunnels we've been through on this island. And crazy to think of the work that must have gone into this. I mean, obviously they've tunnelled through the mountains to put the roads through there, but this is a bit more small scale, but still quite a project to do something like this. Just bore a big hole through the side of a mountain. Wow, it's hot again now. Oh my god. This is crazy. So, oh, sounds like some rock fall over there. This huge sheer-sided cliff in front of us. The Levada kind of continues around here, and I think this is probably going to be another tunnel through the rock there, which spits you out. I'm thinking that, if you can see it over there, is the continuation of the Levada, but that is just one very big drop down to the floor and one huge sheer-sided cliff. What a place, man. It's crazy, isn't it? So that's kind of looking right down into the ravine, and we have these concrete blocks over the Levada here, which move. Oh, what's this saying?
Oh, it's closed.
Wow, that's one hell of a drop down there. There's nothing across the footway, is there?
There isn't, but they would need to always maintain this, because not for walkers, but for people servicing the Levada, because obviously that's their drinking water. So I don't know.
What do we think? Risk it for a biscuit or no?
Quite wet.
Well, she's going in, everyone.
Let's have a look.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of water dripping down the rocks. Just take it easy and watch your footing, because it's pretty slick underfoot. Surely if it was closed properly there'd be some kind of barrier across the footway entrance.
You would think even just something that can be moved by them.
Yeah. I mean, if we come across anything that looks really dodgy, we'll...
You'll turn back. I mean, we are quite a ways into
Yeah.
it anyway, but...
Looks okay so far. So that was okay, wasn't it?
Made it through.
Wow. Crazy, crazy landscape, man. Where's the tunnel we popped out of before then? Can we see that?
If you walk it that way, maybe.
So this is, I think, that bit of concrete side we were looking at from over the other way. Oh, there you go. So I think that just there is the exit of the tunnel we came out of first. But yeah, the scale of these cliffs is just immense and just totally vertical. So I think we're heading along here and out towards another elbow, which is going to be pointing us out towards the coast. So I think the Levada is underneath us now, I think. Probably see, we found this nice little sit-off for lunch. Bit of a sort of service station for the Levadas, I think. And we've ended up sharing a lot of our lunch with the locals. We had some leftover pizza from last night, didn't we, which was nice. And the lizards particularly liked the bacon and the onions, and the birds were more of a fan of the bread. But nice little lunch stop that, wasn't it?
Really nice, yeah.
So I think we're probably going to call this the turnaround spot, because we have got a 5 o'clock pickup. The Levada continues on down there. But we have, I mean, this goes on for, what was it, 25 kilometres they said? So it's a very, very long Levada walk this. I think we're going to, as I say, call it a bit of a turnaround point here.
Yeah, we've done about 5 miles.
Yeah,
so
we've
it's another 5
done 5 and we're going to have 5 back, so fed and watered, and we fed and watered the locals as well, so I think it's time to head on back. Don't know how much filming we'll do on the way back, but if anything interesting pops up, we'll be sure to grab it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see that, but it turns out there are fish in the Levada. Now I don't quite know how that works. We're going to ask Felipe if he knows. But this is basically a stream that flows down from the mountain and gathers into these Levadas. So I don't quite know how fish have made their way in here, but they have. So we are retracing our steps, and we are back into one of the tunnels. And we were just discussing what an incredible work of engineering this is. You can just about see the end down that end, and just about see the end down there. I'd say you're probably looking at, I don't know, 200 or 300 metres. And somebody at some point back in time has decided the Levada needs to flow through this mountain, literally through the middle of it, and has sent a team of people up here, presumably with pickaxes and the like, and just hacked a hole right the way through a mountain, and then built this neat Levada to channel the water. I think it's absolutely incredible, isn't it? When you really stop and think.
Really, the scale of such a project must have taken years.
Oh, I am sure it did. And probably been quite a dangerous project as well. And for this to be, you know, it's really quite a remote area, this. We're up in the mountains, a couple of thousand feet up in the mountains. To get the people and the necessary tools up here to do that, I think it's just mind-blowing. So we've just had to pause at this spot again because it is
I know
absolutely
we've already
breathtaking.
filmed it, but
Yeah.
it's good enough to film twice.
And you can just about pick out the path of the river, kind of down here.
Yeah. Okay.
Through there. You can still just about hear the river. Only point you can actually see it, I think, is there. You can just kind of see some stones and stuff, but just mesmerisingly beautiful surroundings. So we've paused at this wide section of Levada, and I hope you can see the amount of fish down there. See all of them? It's absolutely teeming with fish. And we don't quite get how that works, but we're going to quiz Felipe and see if we can find out. So we are not far from the car park. I'm meeting Felipe,
It's been a good stretch
and
of the legs.
I have thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Been really different feel to yesterday, hasn't it?
Yeah, totally different, but what we needed, a
Yeah.
flat one, but still, I think we've done about 10 miles, don't we?
Yeah, there or thereabouts. Plenty of drama as well. I mean,
Yeah, beautiful views.
there are plenty of Levada walks on Madeira, some more exciting than others. And that's definitely one of the better ones we've done.
Yeah,
Um,
nice and quiet, nice and peaceful.
yeah, beautiful surroundings. Big mix of landscape from being deep in the gorges to being out and having the view. You can probably just see out to the ocean there through the trees.
Tunnels are always fun.
Tunnels are great fun, yeah. And the sides on some of those gorges are just incredible, just amazing environments.
Straight out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, stunning. And yeah, just what we needed. I think yesterday was a bit of an epic, so the legs needed a bit of a rest. And this has hit the spot.
I'm feeling it now. Getting old.
And we've possibly got another little drop off somewhere from Felipe mentioned the area that we're in, or that he's parked in, is famous for growing grapes to make white wine. Now we're not quite sure what he means by the white wine, because there's obviously the white wine us Brits are used to, and their white wine over here in Madeira is kind
More of a sweet dessert.
it's a
wine.
lot sweeter and a lot more yellow than white. But he said there's a great bar that's serving wine made with grapes grown in this region here, and if it's not too busy we're going to pop in for a glass.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So I think we'd be up for that. So if we can, we'll grab some footage from in there. If not, this is us signing off. So thanks very much for watching, appreciate that. We've had another brilliant one, haven't we? Really enjoyed it.
We have. Thank you.
Yep, and we shall see you on the next one. So ta-ta for now. See ya.
Bye.